back then, I mean, bands just appeared all over the place, and they needed somewhere to sort of play, so these clubs formed to sort of cater to the burgeoning music scene. I'm searching in the wilderness, looking for my love. It was great to sort of find out about all these. It kept the music scene alive in Bradford.
Gary Cavanagh spent nearly 7 years compiling the first in a trilogy of books tracking bands to come out of the Bradford district from 1967 to 87.
Through a connection of older musicians and people in the peer group above me, they passed me on to people who actually lived through it and played in bands. So I got a lot of legwork getting older people and tracking them down, bit sleuthing and finding them in pubs, and I just had to do it, really. The worst job was trying to track down obscure tracks. It took me about 2.5 years to compile the first CD. Finding obscure albums and whatever off the internet or going to specialist record shops. Took me a long while to compile the music for that.
The idea for the book was sparked after Gary heard a band called The Accent, who made just one record, Red Sky at Night.
They did one single on Decca, produced by Blue Horizons producer Mike Vernon, and it's a killer track. I love it, and I had to track it down so I could hear it, and it's on loads of obscure psychedelic compilations, but I did get to hear it in the end
The bass player in that psychedelic 60s band is still living in Bradford and still playing. The Accent originally had another name, but London-based record producer Mike Vernon, who worked with David Bowie and Eric Clapton, had other ideas.
You're so broad, he said, from Yorkshire and all this. He said, why don't you call yourself The Accent, you know, with you having such an accent? And that's how the name came about. Yeah, that's all through him not being able to communicate with us. We used to call him Sorry What, because every time we said something, he'd go, sorry what? Sorry what, you know. We made the record, got released. Jimmy Savile played it quite a few times, but the record unfortunately didn't take off. And the lead guitarist wanted to leave, and the band just folded after that, after the one single.
Gary's now working on the next book, which will take the reader from 1987 to 1997. New Model Army are already in the first book, formed in 1980, and still going strong. On fire back here on Earth. See the light in their eyes shine. Bands like Terrorvision will kick off 87, but Gary's on the lookout, as ever, for the one-offs and obscure, and making sure those who made the music are not forgotten.